All right, art students, welcome back to another video, another fun-filled, informative teaching element video. Teaching element. So today I'm going to do, I'm going to start doing some close-ups. Usually I'll do like full body stuff, but I want to do some close-ups so that you can basically showcase your character, as in, his face, his features. So I'm going to do some close-up action poses. And we're going to start out with this one today. So I'm going to try to fill the paper up. I don't know if I'm going to maybe try this way versus this way, because I'm not going to use too much of the torso. It's going to be a lot of head, shoulders, some chest kind of positions. Stuff that you would see in a frame, comic book frame, where they just don't continue to draw the whole body. So let's see if I can fit this on this and make it big. I'm going to start out with the head because I'm not going to go too far down on the chest. So let's just say if I get the head like this big. And usually I say don't start out with the head, but this is a different situation. So you'll see once I get it in there, because I need to do that to see where I'm going to put the rest of the torso and how much of the torso I'm going to put in there. So what I want to do is, you have that's simple. The neck, simple, comes to that point, and there's going to be the collarbone right there and there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the hand here. So let me just draw a quick rough hand and let you guys kind of see what I'm going for. And this is why I want to try to fill up the page so that I can get it all in there. So this is just like kind of a rough of what I'm kind of seeing in my head, what I want to do. This needs to be square. Usually when I do the hands, and I'm showing you everything in reverse that I have been trying to teach for a while. And I might lift the hand up, I might drop the hand down. So just draw without thinking, Brian. Just draw without thinking. Okay, so we got this here. Put it in blue. Just threw my pencil to the side. This one is going to go down a little bit. This one's going to come up and like that. And this one definitely comes behind the other hand. You see the palm, part of one half of the palm, you see the other half of the palm, and the thumb is going to go like right there, cutting through some of the face, not too much of the face. So the arm is going to go kind of this direction. Kind of, because when you bend your arm, and I was going to try to bend my arm to show you, your elbow is going to go down. However I bend my arm, that elbow is going to go down. I can't show it to you because this part has to be straight. So just imagine that elbow is going to be down here. So you're going to have that foreshortening, and then you're going to have, depending on the angle, the part of the bicep. You see some of that bicep, and then you're going to see that shoulder. That's why I wanted to get this head first, so I can figure out how big this is going to be. And that's only for doing a close-up. So let me switch back to my red, because my blue is kind of like the open layer, or the top half of when I need my details. So I'll start out with my red, basically because you can see it better on the camera. So here's going to be my torso. This is my collarbone. This collarbone is going to be up more. So this is going to be my shoulder here, right here. So my bicep is going to be here. And then the forearm, I almost didn't know what that was. It's going to be right here. Which means I'm going to keep the hand where I have it. So that delt is going to come here. That collarbone is going to come here. So he's leaning. He's got this part going up. This shoulder going up. This one's coming down a little bit. And let me bring it down just a little more just to see. And then you have this delt here. Make the delt a little wider. So I can have this arm going back. I can have this arm coming out, which looks better because since this is going this way, you want to kind of balance it by having this arm going that way as well. So that's about it for this. So you have that center of the neck. You have those two muscles that go here and here up to the ear. You have that chest. It says this one is going, where does it say? This one is going up here, so the chest is going to come down like this. Turn there, and this one's going to go up to that delt. Remember, when you lift your arm up, let me get me some copying paper and show you what I'm saying. So it's basically, a lot of these videos are going to show you the same thing, and that's the same thing as when you go to school. They teach you the same thing and until you get it in your head. They beat it in your head. That's why they tell you the same thing over and over. Even when you go to college, you're going to be learning the same thing, unless you're going into a specific field. But basically, you go to college, they want to give you your math again, they want to give you your English again, they want to give you the same thing you took for 4 years or however long it took you to graduate. So yeah, collarbone straight when you're facing. When you lean forward, it takes that. But when you go up, when you lift that arm up, the bottom of your delt is going to be connected to the chest. That chest is going to lift up too, like that, whereas the other one is going to be more square, like that. So the higher you lift that arm up, the more the chest is going to pull. And I use the example of curtains, which I do say that was kind of brilliant. Curtain rod, and you have curtains, 2 sets of curtains. Okay, here's my curtains. Kind of looks like shower curtains. It's okay, it's curtains. And if you take one of these, one side of the pole, and you lift it up, so you got one here and you have one here. You have these curtains are going to stay the same, but these are going to be like this. It's going to be more shorter and longer like that. And so that's the same thing that happens to your chest when you lift that that collarbone and when you lift your arm up. So just kind of remember that. So we have this, and then of course, you know, we have your center line. You have your abs, your when it comes around, your, wow, 2 sentences ahead and I can't think of it. Rib cage, torso comes around. So that's about it. Now the thing is, when you draw something close up like this, you have to go for detail. Looking in the monitor, this is too, gotta give him a little, give him some lats, because the arm is out, and I give it a little more balance, which that might be a little too much lats, but I'll fix it in the wash. So that, this, maybe like this much. And I'm going to turn him into one of my characters. That was the thing that gave me a little trouble getting started, because I said I want to do something with him. I just didn't want a close-up of a figure without any meaning or purpose. So I'm going to give him some life. As I'm staring in the monitor, that's why my words are breaking up. All right, so now, as I say, once you get close like this, you have to start doing detail, unless your character is in all black, which my character will be in black. That's a get over, Brian. No, it's not. It's just my character is going to be in black. And once I draw the character, if you know anything about it, which you will, because I'm having the book text, you'll understand my character, which is going to be him. So we have this. It's going to come down and out a little bit. So you're going to have this piece here for your thumb. So if I could do that position, it'd be kind of like somewhere in this. 2 fingers up, couple fingers down. And since I got it, this finger is always going to come behind this. It's hard to look in the monitor and point to my fingers, touch my fingers. Yeah, so you have the 2 up and like that. And a lot of times, just pose. If you want to draw a picture and you really can't see it in your head, just stand in front of a mirror and pose. Everybody has a camera phone. Take a picture of yourself. Set your camera phone up to where you can take a picture of yourself, and do the best you can. Unless it's a flying pose or something crazy like that. So do the best you can. Makes it easy. If you have a brother or sister, whatever family member that can help you. So I'm going to have to pull this out a little bit more. Am I using blue? I am. And for those that say, oh, that's hard to do, it's hard to do because you don't do it often enough, or because you have set in your mind that, oh, this thing is so hard. And your brain will tell you, oh, you can't do that because you already said it's hard. I'm just following orders from what you said. You said it's hard to do, so let's not try to do it because it's hard. So stop saying something's hard to do or something's impossible to do. It would be hard for me to play the piano, but I mean, with enough practice, if I loved it that much with enough practice, I'd be banging on the keys, making up some music. So yeah, don't say, oh, something's so hard. It's just, no, it's just that fact that you just haven't done it enough to make it easy. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something. With enough study and enough practice, you can do anything. I almost bust out into that song, I can do anything better than you. So there you go. You got in my hand. You got in my hand. You have a hand. So let's fix this up a little bit. Kind of square this off some. Because even though that is a cylinder, or the cone, shall we say, it does have a shape to it. So let's do this arm. Let's do this while I'm doing this. I'll have this one come straight down, and this one will come straight out. So as I say, you have this part which is an oval, and this part which is a cone. So if you lift that up, it's just up by foreshortening. If I lift that cone up, of course, it's going to start rounding off like this. And that oval is going to round off like this. And this is going to be in front of that. And of course, that delt, which is just a ball, is going to be behind that. So what you're doing is you're placing it, you're covering up some parts of the shape behind it. So you're going to cover up all of this, and you're going to cover up all of this. So the more you raise something up, the more it's going to cover up. So if I put this hand up here, how can I say that? The higher it is, the more of the front, the very front part you want to see. You can understand that. The higher I raise his arm, the more I want to focus on that hand. So let's just say if I put the hand here, this is his hand. Right, that's his hand. So here is the forearm, or that triangle right here, or not triangle, whatever you call it, the cone, and of course this oval shape is going to be back here, covering it up. And the more you raise that, the less of some parts you will see. So as I say, if you can't do it, do the cone first, and then you're going to chop that off right there and put the hand there. Now that could go down a little bit more, because remember, when your elbow always kind of like points down, unless you're going straight out, straight out. Find a manageable pin. Let's just try this thing here. So we'd have this. Always, yeah, this is going to go down. I'm sorry, I had it going straight back, just contradicting myself as I turned away and re-looked at it again. Why are you trying to make that hand so perfect? I don't know. So this is going to go, remember I said this is going to go, it's kind of going to go back. This is exaggerated, but it's going to go back. This is not going to go, unless your hand is straight. You put your arm straight. You're going to have this go back. Let me show you in red or blue. This is going to go back kind of like this, down and back, kind of like that. And then you have the other part of your arm there. So you're going to see the hand is covering a lot of it up. You're going to see your forearm. Then you're going to see your bicep. Yes, your bicep. Then you're going to go into the delt like that, with that elbow kind of like aiming down there. And it depends on how much you choose to straighten the arm up. Like if I'm pointing a gun, my arm is going to be straight, pointing the gun directly at you. But if I'm just like loose and just waving it at you, my arm is going to be bent with that elbow pointing kind of down. So we have that. We have the bicep, and wherever this delt is going to be like right there. So you're going to see that, and then that, and that elbow. comes up. Well, you just see the tip of that elbow and some muscle under there. This is fine. The neck is good. You're going to have the trapezius muscle here, and you won't see that. Of course, again, we got the chest. We've got this. It's an indentation, not a separation like this, just like an indentation. Because he's leaning, you want to bring that delt back a little bit. If he is straight, let me get a thicker pen. Why did you need a pen? I don't know. Circle. If he's straight, his collarbone is going to be, if he's straight, looking straight at you, the collarbone is going to be like that. If he leans forward, the collarbone is going to take the V shape, which means that head is going to come down into the shoulders more. So I was getting somewhere. Oh, yeah. So the delt will be like this. Underneath that collarbone. Collarbone stops here. Your delt is there, basically underneath. It's hanging off of it, shall we say. So when you tilt it down, when that character starts to lean forward, like so, then that circle is not going to be here. It's going to be in the back. So you want to kind of have that ball in the middle. It's going to be like that. The ball is going to start back here and come back there. And then you have your chest. Making it round, making it round. This usually when I draw, I'll do my chest like this. I'll turn it like that and then go up. Just gives it like that, a better shape to me. And then of course, again, you have your delt, which is like this. Not a complete separation like this. It's just an indentation. And then your bicep comes out from beneath that point. And then your tricep is a little behind it like that. Why am I losing my voice? So yeah, so with this guy leaning a little bit and being close up, you gotta want it. You're gonna have to use it more detail. So it's gonna be like that. Come down. I'll just bring my line down because there are 3 parts to the delt, and I can't really tell you where exactly each one is. But I think there's one like this, one here, and one there. Instead of the way I show you, I say just put the line in the middle, which you're not going to separate the three heads of the delt anyway, unless you're just drawing, serious, doctor anatomy. But just do like that in the middle, and then you just separate, or you have that curve around there because this is your delt. When I think too much, I can't get it. Your traps, your muscles is like this, your traps, and it goes up behind your neck, so your neck comes down like this with those 2 muscles, which I don't know what they are called, which I usually really never draw. And you have your Adam's apple and some other stuff in the middle. So that goes up right there, and it goes up behind your neck, like that, leaving that, I don't know what that would be, a watermelon shape. But yeah, I'm gonna try to give you a little bit in every video so that you'll kind of understand. So like I said, you have this, comes like this. The bicep is going to be round like this. Tricep, I bring it up a little bit. Like that. So now we have this. This is your basic right here. This is your basic. And because muscles, I may put a little bit of muscle in it, but I think I might just have a lot of shadow. So when you have your rib cage, which is your, I'll do this anyway, from your side to this little point, this little dip, I'll do that. And then you have your, there's the technical name for it. And I can't think of it now because that was like love handles. If ever I couldn't remember what the love handles were called. But so past that back part of your ribs that presses up against your skin, you have your lats. Or your lats, or the wings, as you say, spread the wings. So yeah, since this arm is not up, you're not gonna really see this much, see the lats here. So now at this point, I have to detail the finger and put my head where I want it. So since that hand is kind of into the face, I'm going to turn the face just a little bit, kind of almost like he's looking around his hand, maybe. I'm thinking it would be great if it's just, this would be great if it's not my character, but The thing about my character is one of his eyes is covered, so he's going to have to look straight. So we're going to make it straight. I want to make it straight. It's still going to be maybe tilted a little bit, but I'm going to have it straight because he's looking straight at you because of who he is and what his abilities are. So I want to bring this down more. I don't want to have the pointed chin. I'm going to give him more of the square chin. This is the bottom of his chin. Come out more and up. Bottom of the chin, out and up. And then flat on the sides. So that's why I did the head first, because I needed to see the size of the head compared to the torso. So now that I have that, I can do two things. I can shrink the head, or I can make the torso bigger, and it's easier to just shrink the head. Besides, I wanted the head way up at the top of the page anyway, so. Get your thing straight. So let's shrink the head, bring it in a little bit more. And down. Because no matter how big you become, as in you work out, you know, get big, your head will never grow. You get your neck to grow, your shoulders, your arms, all those things. Your head will never grow, and your hands will never grow. Yeah, I think your hands will get stronger, maybe more veins, muscular, but I don't really think they actually get swollen. I have not seen anybody that had that, so I'm sticking with that story. That's why you have the Hulk with his massive shoulders and, you know, the little head, and all these other creatures that they have the little heads, because your head will not grow. It's like your eyes. Your eyes will not grow. Your eyes that you're born with, that size, is the same size. Your eyes will stay. That's why babies are so cute, because they have big eyes, because your eyes don't grow. They are the same size your entire life. Okay, so now I'm kind of like touching with it. The face. Okay, here is the chin. He's going to be leaning down just a little bit. So let's find the middle. He's going to be leaning down. Is he going to lean down? No, that's fine like that. I always turn my paper to the side. I draw to the side, and that's probably the reason why I have crooked lines all the time, because this is higher than that. And that's higher than that. But I'm gonna go with this. So here's my chin. So I'm going to bring it down like this. And then, of course, the jawline is going to go right here for the mouth. And just above that is the nose. And the rest is the top of the head, which I can either bring it down if it's too high or not. Check your monitor. Always walk away from your drawings before you say, oh, that's it, that's perfect, this is how it's going to stay. Turn it over for a few seconds. Look away. Turn it back over, and you can say, okay, that shoulder is a little too high. Or you see your mistakes a little easier. Easier. The neck comes down here. That, and see, I'm still touching on stuff. The shoulder, where did I put that? Right here. So this is going to be here. Collarbone is going to be right here, which you're not going to see, but you will see this part of the collarbone right there in this portion of the neck. Do I want to expand the chest a little bit more? I can. And see, this is just me playing right now instead of getting to the meat of the subject. But you want your foundation right first before you go any further. Like that. And sometimes I'll do this little rib thing right here, just make it a little more powerful. I always do my dip here. I like making an M. That way I can do this. I can have this little point that separates the muscle here and here, and I can see that this is one side is wider than the other. but I can bring this in a little bit more to match his waist. Bring that in. It's maybe a hair longer. I can always adjust that. And that's one thing when you get something close up, you want to have symmetry. Symmetry. I'm shocked that I remember that word. And this line basically represents your ribs, because your ribs come down. You have this, and your ribs intersect. They cross. There's a point right here. Let me do a pencil. Maybe you can see it better. Or maybe you can see it. Let's just do blue. It's like this. There's a point, like claws. And as it slopes down, those other ribs slope down too, and it goes all the way up. And basically, this is what that is. This is a Jim Lee thing. I saw Jim do it, and I was like, okay, that's neat. That's kind of a shorthand to drawing all these ribs. So you do this, and sometimes he'll turn it up like this to make it look like an extra ab. But like I say, I always do this diamond here. That way, it leads me to let me do a bigger picture of abs. So let's say these are my abs here. Here's my little M. Come around, and this is my ribs. So I'll have this V right here, bring it down, and you have one set curving around. Remember, the body is round. I have my second set like this going up, curving around, and I have my third set curving around like that. So in between each one, I'll have that V, or have diamond, should I say. It's like this one from the top. So I have a diamond here, a diamond here, and that diamond here, because you have this one big that comes down to your crotch. This one big, I don't even want to say set of abs, but it's muscle. Then I'll have like a half a diamond here, half a diamond there, half a diamond there. Same thing on the other side. And that way it kind of pushes your abs out when you have that diamond, and then you have all this black inside. This is just shadow. And then of course you could either take the line all the way across, or you can stop it halfway. Your preference. Most times I just take it all the way across, because I'm not thinking of stopping it. I can stop it for better effects. Like if I have two characters that they're both muscular, one's abs are going to show more, the other ones are not going to show more. So you have your love handles, which I think comes down to the third set. And it goes in like this, and then you have the buttocks is like right here, and then you have your legs connecting to that. So a lot of times people this whole thing is just your leg, but it's your buttocks. It's that underwear section. So you put that belt here. You can have a higher belt. You don't want a lower belt. You want to put a higher belt if you're having a belt on your character. But that's just how I do abs. So as I say, every video, I'm pointing way off. You can't even see. Every video I'm going to give you, some tips to help you draw, because this is a drawing channel. This is not, oh, Brian can draw. Look at me draw this picture. I'm going to show you how to draw. Regardless if my picture is screwed up, I'll show you the steps to get it not screwed up, but to get it to where you want it to be. So what I'm going to do with this, I want to take this up. Not make it so, that was right, but I want to kind of make it not so prominent. So you break that line, you can break that line up like that to give them a little more chest, because that will actually come in. That is the same with the abs. It'll give that little diamond, and it makes it look like that it's popping out more here and there, and my bicep. And again, I'm screwing around with the little details instead of drawing the picture. But I'll show you this. When you are doing foreshortening, you draw something close and it goes back like this. That's just typical foreshortening. But the arm is fat here, so you kind of have to get that look right. And then your bicep, and then there's your delt. So it's not gonna just slope back straightly. You have to be able to know that this is your wider part, and it's supposed to go thin, but it's gonna go wide again, and you can't make it too wide or too thin, or it's gonna kind of throw off the look. All right, eyes. Your nose, your size of your nose, you get that size right. Your eyes are supposed to fall right out in between it, because I think it's 5 eyes. 1, 2, 3. It's supposed to be 5, I think, unless you're doing anime. But yeah, my eyes are going to be bigger anyway. Center of your eye down is where your mouth stops. And of course your ear here and here. And okay, so your mouth is open. Your mouth opens here. So let's just say, since that's a little high, I'm gonna make this a top lip. Bottom lip is gonna go here because he is tilting. He's supposed to be tilting down a little bit, which is gonna bring that down more. And your chin should be the size of, what is your chin the size of? Chin is the size of the beginning of your eyes. So that should be like your nose size, basically. Your chin should be the size of your nose. Depending on your character. This is going to be a black character, so he's going to have a bigger nose. All right, so let me pause for 1 second and figure out what I need to do. Check out the body, look at the body, make sure the body looks right for me. I'm going to be there. I'm going to walk away for a second. I'm looking at this head. I could probably make the head just a tad bigger. Just a tad bigger. And I'm going to walk away and I'm going to come back. I'm going to say it out. Right, say it. I'm going to do something. I just forgot. I'm going to add detail. Yeah, that's better. I like the head better like that. I need to slow down when I talk. Use the King's English. So this is going to curve around. It's actually going to curve around and then back behind the neck. So it's going to be a big curve. That could actually be longer, but I like it for now. And as I said, I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna flip this over and I'm gonna walk away and I'm gonna come back. For me, it might be an hour, it might be 10 minutes. For you, it's just gonna be a hot second. Let's get a close up of it while I'm at it. So yeah, and uncover this thumb so you can see that where that is. And then I'll come back and we'll do the hand. We'll do some detail to the hand, show you where the bends and the wrinkles and so forth are going to be at. All right. Break time. Back in a split second for you. All right. So I am back. And looking at it, I think I will bring his arm, make his arm a little smaller. It's like hitting his side a little too hard. For me. I think that might probably be it that I want to do. Give a little bit of lat, just a little bit more lat right there and come in. I don't know if I'm going to use this line or this line, but we'll see. All right, so I want to do a little detail on the hand. If you're not going to put gloves on your character, I'm going to put gloves on my character. So first thing I want to do is, you know that you have two fat parts of the palm here. So wherever the thumb is, you're going to have that line that comes down almost to the middle of your palm. Everybody has different, lines. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of like bring this one down here, there. So, this is going to be curved and bent up. So you're going to have this one that goes across here like that. You're going to have the opening in that one thumb. You're going to have the actual meaty part of the thumb, and you're going to have one that goes across here. And the best thing to do is kind of like look at your hands. Are you seeing this, or do I need to switch colors? Then of course you're going to have your separation in your fingers. You can see that one. You're not going to see this one because this one's going to be where it's going to be at, depending on the angle again. And as I always say, people can say, I'm going to show you how to draw this, but they're just showing you how to draw that. I'm going to show you how to draw these abs. And so I just draw these abs, but you might want to draw abs more to the side. So, me showing you like this is not going to help you when you want from the side. So it all depends on what you need. So, but you're going to have three sections. So you cut off 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 sections of your finger. So this one here, so you're always going to have this one here. I think that's the major one that you do. This one's kind of, you know. So you're going to do this one, second one, and third one. This is if you don't put gloves on them. So you're going to have this. So I could actually shrink this just a little bit and give it more of a curve. 2, and then my third one is going to be here, and this one's going to come down. So you just, the finger is going to be more like this. If I put nails on this, again, depends on the angle. This nail's going to be more right here, and then these curves, where is it at? Right here. You're not going to see as much curves. You're not going to see as much line. I don't know what you call these lines on this finger because it's coming down. So you're just going to see like just sides of it, the thing with the nail there. So I'm going to take this nail off because nails only go on women. So those are going to be basically your basic wrinkle lines. Now, if you wanted to go crazy and just, you know, add more wrinkles to it, let's get this dealt out the way. Then you can, as I say, it depends on if you have a guy that's wearing gloves or not. You come here, more wrinkles here. You have some bends, some wrinkles up in here, and then of course you separate these two. This one's going to be squished a little bit because when your hand does that, where's the camera? Your hand is going to kind of come together, so it's not going to be square anymore. When I draw hands, I do a square, and when I like do a fist, I think I showed you on the last one. I'm working on a fist video. I didn't like it, so it's still in the works. It's going to not be straight. It's going to curve like that. So when you draw a fist, you don't draw that box like that. It curves kind of like that. You have that curve, and then the thumb comes out like that. It gives you a more powerful fist. Same thing when I draw a hand. I'll start out with a square, then I'll add my fingers. So when I come down, if I'm like coming down, how am I drawing this? I don't know. If I'm coming down with my finger, my hand, and I'm just kind of trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this, like that, it'll be curved. So this might be this one finger, this is another finger, this is another finger, this is another finger. And of course you have that separation in the middle, like that. So basically it all comes out to be a square. So if you're drawing a box, let's do this, box, and you tilt your hand whatever way, you're going to have that box in perspective. And then of course, as I said, here's your fingers. Did you say that? I'm saying it now. Here's your fingers. So if you want that box to be like this, whatever, you just have to use a box, and then just, you know, that's the middle of your palm, whichever way you want your thumb to go. And then of course your fingers. Wow, that is a jacked up thumb. I know. Just my brain is shutting down because I'm just coming up with this on the fly, like that. So yeah, use your box. Use your box first. Use a box to do your hands. And my camera is zoomed in. This is why it might blur. Hopefully that was the only blur that we did. I don't know. This is going to curve in here, so this is why this is wide. I'm looking at this. Do I want to bring this in a little bit more? See, by me just looking at something else, I have seen something I could want to change. So, subscribe, please. If you have not subscribed, I know just like a lot of other channels will say, oh, I've got like so many percentage people watching, but only this many percentage have subscribed. So please subscribe. You know, it doesn't hurt to hit that little subscribe button down the bottom so that I can get 100,000 subscribers. I've got 20,000. Thank you for you 20,000 people who just went and pushed that little subscribe little button. It's not a button, but you know, you hit that thing. So to you guys, I thank you so much for that, because that made me so happy. So I'm trying to get 100,000 now. So let's try to get 100,000 so I can get some sponsors on this thing, so I can do this full time, because I have no sponsors. So you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to sponsor myself. Today's video is sponsored by the Action Pose Position 360 book. You see what I did there? I just kind of like, you know, segued into my own little sponsorship of my book. I know that's what's that word? I'll think of it in a second. Anyway, the action pose position book. Have you ever been trying to draw? Have you ever been, see how I messed up my thing? Have you ever tried to draw a position and you couldn't figure out what position you wanted, or you couldn't see it? Whenever that happens to me, I always go to my Action Pose Position 360 book by Brian Proctor, which is now available on Amazon. In my Action Pose 360 book, I have tons of different positions that I can use. And even as a bonus, it has the finished YouTube drawings in the back. So if I see a position I come across, like say, oh, I like that position, I want to know how to draw it, I just go to the title, Action Pose Position of the Week, number 38, and go to Brian's YouTube channel, which is right here, or in the description below. And then I get step-by-step tutorage of how to draw that position that I want. This is a wonderful book, Action Pose Position 360 book, now available on Amazon. Thank you, sponsorship. You're welcome. All right, back to our regularly scheduled program now. So yeah, I'll sponsor myself. So anyway, let's get going. Oh, speaking of that, I had two individuals that wanted to wanted me to promote their product, but they were both scams. So yeah, one of them I couldn't open up. The other one, they sent me a link to go to open up, check their site out, and it opened up a virus. It was like a virus, but my program, I believe it was Norton, the Norton program caught it and said, we just intercepted a virus from downloading. And I said, would you like to keep it or would you like to delete it? And I deleted it. So thank you, Norton. So yeah, I just gave you a plug, Norton. I think it was Norton. Was it Norton? Anyway, whoever it was, I gave you a plug. So yeah. Anyway, all right, let's do some eyes. I need my character's picture before I can draw the face. So let me get the picture of my character. Here's my character. Shameless plug. That's what I was trying to say for a shameless plug of my book. Oh, I did that too quick. This is my character. This is the Eye of the Beholder. That's the name of the book, and it's getting lettered as we speak. And as soon as I color the cover, I'm going to send it out for publishing. Now, I'll tell you about it later. This is my character, so I have to see the face before I can draw it. So, nose. Let's get that nose. Get that nose. Get that beard. I need to sharpen my pencil. You always want a sharp pencil when you're trying to do detail. So let's sharpen the other one while I'm at it. And the reason I need a picture of my character is because I have not seen him in a minute. So I want to do blue or red. Let's do red with blue for the actual detail corrections. So I saw this girl that did the most incredible noses, and she started out with this little kind of teardrop, and she worked her way around it, and I was like, that is so neat. Every nose looked the same, but I mean, it was there. It was perfect. So, is that nose crooked? It is crooked. It is tilting, so let me do this. Turn it upside down and draw it to make it not. And as I said, she started out with this because that is the bulbous part of the nose. And this comes your wing right here, which is called the wing. And it comes in. You don't want to do this for females, though. You want to do as less nose as possible. Then you have this bone that comes up here, and you have this little piece that comes here. This little, it kind of slopes in, but I'm not going to keep this. I'm just showing you for reference sake. And this goes around the eye. This part goes around the eye, and you have the eye under there. Yeah. This goes above the eye, and you have the eye under there. So there's structure to the nose. But I like how she did that, so I was like, okay, I like that. So I'll change my style to her style. Thank you, whoever you were. And if you're tilting down, you won't see the nostril. If you're tilting down, draw a nose. Here's my nose. Here's the wing of my nose. So that's my nose if I'm looking straight up at somebody, or if you're looking straight at somebody. Now, if I tilt down, if I tilt up, you'll see the nostril coming out like that. So, and I used to just draw the nostrils all the time, and I don't know why. Maybe because I see my nostrils, my nose is tilted up a little bit, so you can actually see the nostrils. But just do that. Do this, the little egg shape, followed by the wings. And then you have a good nose. And I need some good eraser. I have to break out another pencil eventually. So I don't want that much detail. I want detail, but not that much detail. So he has that. Let's get his mouth. Let's get his mouth. Usually you have this piece right here, and it is your philtrum, if I'm not mistaken. There's a little dip right there, which shapes the top lip. I'm not going to make him smile. I'm going to make him serious. You have this little, just a little bit of dip right here, a little point right here. Comes up like that. And you have the thicker part. Is he smiling? He is smiling. So I'm going to drop that down. Give him, I don't want to connect it because a lot of times you connect it for females, but I don't know, I might connect it, I might not. Leave it right here. Not too much of a point. So that's my lip right there. So if you're doing an African American, keeping it politically correct, then you want the thicker lips. So, and I have to have room for his beard. So since I'm going to cut through the hand, this is the hand. Why would you use blue to go through the hand? You won't see it. So I'm going to do his beard here. And this guy was, he was a Delta Force commander until he was shot through the eye. Hence the patch. And he was saved by this little girl. I don't want to say she had ability. She just saved him. She saved him. He was left on the battlefield, and she saved him. And because he pleaded with God to save his life all the time of being a soldier, all those push-ups and sit-ups and miles of running, he said, it's just like that. It's over. It's over. Just like that. One little shot. So God brought this little girl to him, and she was sick. She took him to the home, the hospital where she was. And this is in another country. This is another country. This is a war in another country. So God gave him the ability to remove demons from somebody. Demon of lust, demon of hatred, whatever. So each of these demons, when you pull a demon out, these demons are like their pure form, but he can take them out. He can pull them out with a light. There's a spiritual light behind here. His eye's missing, and there's a light. So he has to keep it covered up to not pull out everybody's demon. All right. So when he sees somebody that he is, let's say, targeting or whatever, he'll pull this patch over his other eye, his good eye. And then the light will come through, pulling that demon out. But in turn, they will both end up in the demon realm. So he has to fight that demon to keep it from going back and taking 7 other spirits with it. Or should I say spirit, not demon, spirits. Taking 7 other, just biblical. So what's the word I'm trying to say? It's a biblical, it's a Christian book, basically. It's not like Christian, like here comes Jesus, but it's based on the Bible and spirits and so forth. Because everybody has a demon inside them. So, I mean, some you can deal with and some you can't. And he just deals with like the worst of the worst. And he has to fight these guys or kill these demons so that he can rid that person. But he only has a limited amount of time that he can stay in the demon realm, or he will automatically go back, and that evil spirit will come back, and it can bring 7 others, which are just as worse or worse than it is. Yeah, biblical stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the patch over his eye. And I had this guy out for years. I did it in a, what do you call those? Like an online thing. But I really didn't know how to really do it. So it just kind of sat for years and years. And I said, let me make a book out of this thing. So yeah. Years later, it is becoming a book. Eye of the Beholder. I really don't have any like superhero books because I think that the field is getting overcrowded with superheroes, and there's not many superpowers left anyway, because everybody just got them and trying to milk them and change them into other things. So yeah, I don't know. Right now he kind of looks like Nick Fury. But trust me, I had this guy long before Nick Fury was black. Okay, this book has been out or this story has been out for a while. My character has been out for a while. I'm not gonna say the book or story. It's not a book yet. Nowhere near Nick Fury. So when Nick Fury did come out, I'm like, oh man, he kind of looks like my man. Except this guy is not bald. So there is a light that comes through here, and maybe I might do it in Photoshop to color it, or just yeah. And as I'm talking, I just remembered I was trying to do just a rough, take a picture of it, and then have two separate pictures. Take a picture of it and then add the detail to it, so I can have a before and after kind of thing, or unclothed and clothed, but it's almost too late. Almost. Now I'm gonna do the face, and then I will clothe the guy. Clothe the guy. So your ears go. And for ears, I will do this. Here's my head. So my ear, I will go like this box, or this little piece that comes up. Then I will take this other piece and bring it down and curve it around. So this is going to be flat. So if you can imagine doing this. So this part right here is going to be flat, and it's basically going to go around like that. But I'll just do this first, especially on a small ear, and then just come around like that. So it's kind of like the same thing. So in the middle of your ear, you have a little piece that sticks out like that. Touch your ear. In the middle, you have this little flap. I don't know what the flap is called. So from then, I'll just do like this, and then maybe a line like that. And then you have your inner ear working inner ear. So it's going to be like this. And sometimes I might add a little shape to that. It's like this. Then you have the centerpiece, and then you have the little pieces that come in like that. You can do another piece here if you want to get real detail. And that's the side of your ear, and then you have your hair, however you want to put your hair there. So your head. So that's how I do ears. Sideways anyway. Front ways, not sideways. Okay, want to be Nick Fury. Let's go. And he's an older guy, so I got to watch his hairline. I might bring the head down a little bit more. Let me put the hair on it to find out if I need to bring that down some more. A bit of a bush, not a lot. He's not losing his hairline like me. I guess that was a gift from God. So when he accepted the task as being the eye of the beholder, keep your hairline. I ain't gonna say I'm jealous of people that have the hairline, but I am in some strange way. And don't forget today's sponsor. Shameless plug. And subscribe. That's what led me to sponsoring myself. I sponsor myself. All right, let's get rid of his head. And I do need erasers on these pencils. These are wonderful pencils. These are just check pencils. People ask me, where do you get it from? They're just checking pencils I think that's what it's called, checking pencil. That your teachers use in school. That is, if you still go to school. And they're great because they won't photocopy. I can photocopy this on black and white, and none of this will come out. But the erasers are just so terrible. They are terrible. And I wanted him more of a rounder bush, not a flat Bobby Brown bush, but I don't want him to have a poofy round bush. So I'm going to work with that. And of course, like I said, he's old, so he's got, a few wrinkles in there. Not too many, but just a few. So he still has his eyebrow. But all that is covered by the light that comes from out of here. Now his suit is black, and when he goes into the demon realm, it becomes white. It kind of reverses. The colors reverse. So at this point, I think I'm going to, you can photocopy it in color. I'll photocopy this thing and then I'll put his actual uniform on it. That's kind of tight, Brian. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so one thing about this, okay, I got the strap around here. So this strap is going to actually stop on his actual skull. So his hair is going to come like that. There's a little detail like that that you have to be able to do, especially when you're doing close-up. So his hair is going to come here because that's going to pull in his hair. It's going to come out like that. Same thing on the other side. It's going to pull in. It's going to stop on his skull. His hair is going to pull in and pull out like that. So it's like these little details that people don't really see. Well, that will make you a better artist. So if his head is right there, his hair is going to be a little closer. And this is one thing when you try to draw somebody's character, especially manga, you got to get that hair right. You got to get that hair right, or it won't be that character. For instance, if I say I'm gonna draw a picture of Goku, so I'm gonna draw a picture of Goku right here. This is gonna be Goku right here. Forgive me, I don't know what Goku looks like off the top of my bat. Off the top of the bat, let's just say this is Goku, and you're like, yeah, that's Goku. He's got that mouth open. He's like, yeah, he's gonna power up. Got his mouth open, his little ear, Goku ear, and then when I get the big Goku eyes, and then I say his hair is like this. This is Goku's hair. You said that is not Goku. Come on, you want to focus on me. You want to blur me like that point. Anyway, I said that's not Goku because his hair is not like that. So what does the hair look like from the front, back, side, so forth? So when you do decide to do a character, don't do this. Don't do some wild, crazy stuff like that to where every time you draw it, your hair is different because it won't be your same character. You have to know what you're doing. I told that to one young cat because he wanted me to draw his character. He had that wild hair, and I sent the picture back to him. I was like, okay, so what does it look like from the side? What does it look like from this? You can't just have a straight shot of this guy constantly. All right, so I'm going to copy this in color, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to put his uniform on him, not a costume. A costume is something you wear when you pretend. A uniform is something you wear when you go to work. Remember that. All right, sit back in a second. All right, so as I'm copying this thing, I realize I'm out of black ink. So good thing I'm doing a color copy. I had to darken it a lot. So this is gonna be like a before and after. I shouldn't have put the face there, but the face is there. So let's just keep going. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spare you the time and trouble of seeing me put clothes on this guy, because he is actually naked right here. So I'm just gonna put the clothes on the guy off camera, and then we'll come back and I'll finish up this video. Yeah, we'll finish up the video. All right, and he has no gloves, by the way, so I'm gonna have to, stay with my hand detail. All right, so we are at a stopping point, or more like a pausing point, where I want to show you just a couple extra things that you can do, or you should do, or you would do, or you're doing. So let's just say, using this as an example again, he's got a suit on. This suit is like skin tight. And basically what we do in comics is we draw the body and then we put stuff on it and then we just color the skin, because nothing is that tight. Well, except on women nowadays. But anyway, I want to show you how to make something look more like fabric versus just being so skin tight. And it's just simple. Wherever you, and I did it on that picture and I'll pull it back out in a second. Wherever you have something that is going to move, like between your elbows or any place like a joint or something, and I'll take this for instance, you just kind of, let me show you this, if I can get this. If you take clothes, let's see if I can snap a wrinkle, and you have a wrinkle or fold in the clothes, it's going to come up like this one here. This one is going to go up, it's going to go up, down, and then up again. So it's kind of like a sandwich almost with fabric. So what you would do is you would take this here, something like this. You would have one up. Let me give you a better example. Here's the arm, here's the bicep, here's the forearm. So you come down in blue, you come down and you just have one up, goes in, back out, and up again. And that way it looks like you have folded folds in your clothes. And then you can put another fold here, another fold there. And it's the more you put, the more looser the fabric becomes. But if you just want it really skin tight, but just to show it's not just painted on, you just put like a line in between some of the folds, and already it looks like there is some type of fabric. See, I did this right here on this paper, on this actual suit. But so I will do that maybe a little bit right here. Maybe I'll take it out, but it's just, it goes one, where's it at? Like I said, when it comes together, one's going to fold up. It's going to go in. You make that U and come back out like that. And that's your two fabric, just one fabric coming together. Let me use this as an example real quick. If you have that, this is smooth, and then you push it in, you see how like two sides would come together like that. And then you have wrinkles around it, wrinkles or folds that go around it. But unless you're doing something all fabric and you want the folds, you won't use too many folds or creases in your fabric. All right, something else I said, because I widened this. I took this, I made this a little bigger, which means I made that a little bigger. I think that's all I did with that when I saw it. Came back. Okay, like, let's say you want to put a wristband or something around somebody, even a belt or whatever, and you're having trouble doing that. So let me say, let's just take this pole, this thing. Of course, you know, it has to be just as round as this. So let's just say I'm going to put a band around this thing. So it's got to be just as round as that. Let's say two pieces like that, and then like this. This is going to be even thicker. Now, the one thing about this is what you have to do is you have to kind of continue to bring that circle around as if you're drawing through that. And that this has to come around and then just connect like that. But the big thing is people stop right here. You have to kind of take it around a little bit more and then up, and then this too. And if you're doing detail, usually something has an edge to it. So you want to have just a little edge around it to show that it has that edge. So the same thing for the back. You can't just stop it here. It has to continue to go around just slightly. Just slightly. So you can bring that back, and this has to go around just a little extra slightly as well. And then if this has if it's facing you, it should have an edge to it, some type of edge or lip to it. And I'll throw a quick ink on there, and then the rest can be like that. So that's kind of like a wristband with the two thicker pieces. So if I did this without shaking, computer stop. I set my alarm because I'm cooking, because it is Thanksgiving. Brian, you cook? Yes, I do cook. So this is going to be like that flat part, and it doesn't have to be all the way around, but you notice how it continues to kind of like come around, and then you have this. This has to be round as well. So you get the point. It has to look like it's going all the way around, not just halfway or just, stop right at the same line as the arm or whatever it is. It has to go through the line, and you have to try to kind of keep it round or whatever shape it is. Like for this part is not round. This part of the wrist is not. If I can cut my hand off, the wrist is more like oval, like that. So you kind of have to take like leeway, especially when doing comics, because that's metal and it's not going to reshape itself around the guy's arm. Let's see, now I'm trying to rush because I've got to get my food. So, as I say, you're going to have that edge, meaning like there's that flat surface, provided you do have a flat surface on whatever you're drawing. And it doesn't have to connect, it can. This has to be just as round. It has to continue to go almost under, and then you draw that straight line. So if I put an arm in there, the arm is not going to come right out of this line. It's going to be in a little bit like that, because this is thicker than the arm, and this is going to be in. So this has got to go around, and then this is going to come out here. So whatever this is around, it's not going to be as thick as that. So just remember, bring that thing all the way around. Let's use this thing with a pen. Now with a pen, Brian, gonna kind of keep going as if I'm drawing all the way through it. Then come straight down, unless you want to angle it, and then it's gonna go around. It has to be the same roundness, and then it's kind of like going to go all the way around and then straight up like that. And as I say, if it has a edge to it, you've got to put that edge to it. You don't have to, it's your drawing. So there you go. And if I did another, part of the wristband like this, like that, and then there's his hand right there coming out. Yeah, so just a few extra tips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this and then get back to you with the final product. And if I can think of something in the middle, I will let you know as well. All right, so completed. Now I started out with this and I ended up with this. So there is my character, the eye of the beholder. There was something else I was going to say, but it just kind of just jumped right out of my mind. So, I'm going to end this right here. So, again, if you like it, subscribe, please. Leave a comment and join me in the next video. I think that's about all I was going to say with this. So, yeah, I'll do some more of these half things to showcase your characters. Oh, one thing, I remembered. If you are somebody that loves to draw and every day you're drawing Batman and Superman and so forth, stop drawing them. Create your own character. Maybe you say, well, I don't want to do a comic book. I don't want to do a whole story. But still, if you like Batman, create something that's really close to Batman. He could still be a billionaire, that goes out and fight crime at night. I mean, you're never going to publish it anyway. But just to have your own creation that you draw, that's an amazing thing. So, stop drawing everybody else's and create something of yours, and then you'll see just how much fun it is to draw it every day. Create a backstory for it and, adventures for it, and you never know where it may go. So I will see you guys in the next video. Keep drawing and see ya.